So, hi Jack, thank you for joining me today.
That's all right.
Let's start off and tell our viewers who are you and what do you do?
Sure. So my name's Jack Walton. I'm a mental health advocate, author, a speaker, and a podcast host in Birmingham. And yeah, also thank you for inviting me on. This is really exciting.
Oh, no worries.
Amazing. I think it's really good.
It's what we're all about, positivity and spreading the awareness around mental health.
Hell yes. Hell yes.
Okay, so what is your experience with mental health?
Sure. So I started suffering mental health when I was 12 years old, with anxiety initially. And like every day before school, I used to feel like really, really nervous. So like when you've got that nervous like feeling in your stomach, like butterflies, but like bad, it's like really, really anxious. But again, I didn't know what anxiety was then. I just thought I would just feel nervous. I didn't know that I was dealing with mental health, because I think when you're so young, you don't have the words for it. You just know how you're feeling. So that was that, and that continued really. And then I started having PTSD and suffering that when I was 13, 14. So two major kind of things were going on, and they were there for a few years really, which led to me, getting help and recovering and stuff like that. And touch wood, these days I'm really good. Still have like moments of anxiety occasionally where there's like emotions and stuff going on, but I feel like it's a normal part of life, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So what did you do to get yourself through the past experiences, obviously with suffering from PTSD? What helped you?
Yeah. So when that was happening, I went to the doctor and they said, obviously, you've got a choice. You can either have medication if you want, which I didn't really want to do, because I worried about taking something because I wasn't really sure what would happen. So again, it's a personal thing, isn't it? It's whatever you want to do at the time. But I said no to that, and they said you can have counselling if you want. So counselling was at my local school first. So at my school first it happened, and then it also happened somewhere else, like local authority in CAMS, which is Child and Adolescent Mental Health Service.
Yeah.
I had it through them, which I must have been about 13. It was just before my 14th birthday, really. So 13, 14. And I had counselling, 2 times, which is really good. And it just got to the point, probably maybe, not sure how long, I think maybe it was like 6 months to a year later, where they just said you don't need to come anymore. You are like, you're getting better. And counselling is really good for me. It was good for me because it's almost like it's helping you to realise that what you're thinking is absolutely not true. Like when you've got PTSD, you're thinking a lot of very negative, heightened, unrealistic thoughts that, although deep down you probably know they're not true, when you're so kind of in it and you're so kind of poorly with it, you don't even know anymore. You start to question, you don't know what's real and what's fake. So going to counselling, they guide you back to you. Literally, they're guiding you, walking you back to you, because you're not yourself when you suffer mental health. You're not the same person you were before. And so it's just getting back to that place. I guess it's realising that the PTSD or the anxiety or the depression or whatever it is, it's not you. It's something within you. Which is hard, because when you've got it, you feel like it becomes you. You feel like it takes you over. So having that guidance, be that from medication or counselling, I think it's really, really helpful. And yeah, it definitely helped me for sure.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think especially people like CAMS and people that you can go and talk to really help on helping you to get back to who you are and where where you come from, I suppose.
Definitely.
So if you could take yourself back to your worst moment and the time where you felt like you couldn't go anywhere, you couldn't speak to anyone, what would you do anything differently?
Yeah, I definitely would, because like when I was at my lowest moment, I didn't even want to like be here anymore. I didn't want to be here. I don't want to be here anymore. And that's because I remember thinking, if this is what it's going to be like every single day, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this anymore. If this is what it's going to be like every single day, thinking the way I'm thinking and feeling the way I'm feeling, because when that's happening, it can be such a struggle. So it's so interesting to see that kind of transition now. I would definitely speak more. I'd speak more and tell more people, because although I had such a supportive network, I was never good at sharing. I always felt like I was a burden. I always felt like I was burdening people by talking about things that were, sad and unhappy. And like, I thought, oh, this is negative. Who's on here? We talk about this because I, because I felt like I suffered for such a long time before. I don't want to be like a broken record,
Yeah.
So because of that, I just didn't really tell many people about things quite a lot. And I'd tell more people because it does help. It actually does, when you can just tell somebody, actually, I'm not okay right now. I'm just not doing okay today. That straight away, just saying those words out loud, you just feel a little bit better because you're getting it off your chest and you're sharing it with somebody else other than you, because we're always doing it with ourselves internally. That's not beneficial. You need to speak physically to somebody, whether that's a family member, a friend, somebody online, a stranger. I mean, it's just a human being, anyone you can speak to. So I'd speak to more people, and I would tell my younger self just to not worry so much, because I was always worrying about so many different things. And when I was at that point where I thought things would never change, I used to say, "Oh, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. There'll never be any light at the end of the tunnel." I always used to say that, and I actually believe that. When you kind of at that level, you do believe it, and I just say that it is light at the end of the tunnel. You do find it, and things do get better. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy because the person I am now and all the things I've done, it's like totally opposite to what I was like then. It's totally opposite, and it's crazy, really. But that in itself proves what's possible, doesn't it? That proves it.
It certainly does.
So I was on social media last summer, I think, on Twitter, and I just saw my friend retweeted something saying that there's a radio thing or something. It didn't say a podcast, it just said a radio show, looking for contributors. And it didn't really say a lot. And I don't know, again, this is law of attraction, I guess. It was law of attraction because I was on there that day and I saw it. I never saw it again, ever, on anywhere, just on Twitter for some reason, which shows, I guess, I was meant to be on Twitter at that time for whatever reason. And I guess, I guess I can get into that after because it all makes sense. But I got in touch with them, and the producer was just like, "Oh yeah, it's a podcast." She didn't say Claudia Winkleman at the time. She said it's a podcast done by a professor, like a psychologist, called Tanya Byron, speaking to people about like different issues they've got with their families or like things they're going through. And I was like, "Oh, sorry, I thought it was something else. I thought it was talking about your story kind of thing and like just like sharing what you've done." I was like, "Oh, okay. I feel like maybe this won't be for me then." But then she just said, "Oh, well, actually, before you say no, is there anything that you would like to like get Tanya's advice with?" And I was like, and then I just thought to myself, okay, just really think about it, because this is quite a big opportunity. So if you just want to just think about it first. And I said, "Well, yeah, there is, because my dad, me and my dad don't have like a really good relationship at all. It's not really like, well, it isn't one, to be honest." So at that time last year, so this was last summer, I thought that's something I guess I could talk about, like the effect that's had. And one thing led to another, and she was like, "Yeah, we're going to do it. Tanya wants to speak to you." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And she was like, "Oh, by the way, Claudia Winkleman is the one that's actually presenting it." I was like, "Oh, wow." That's quite, that I did not expect that. I was quite shocked. Yeah. And then I went and did it in October. So a few months passed and I did it in October. And then it came out in January. So obviously you do it and then it came out after. So it was really cool. I can show you some photos at some point of that. It was really good. Very surreal. It was just weird. It was really weird. I mean, those moments are weird, aren't they? When you meet somebody, it's just like, whoa.
Yeah, so what was it like meeting? Was it I'm assuming your first celebrity?
Yeah, it was really weird. It was weird for like 2 seconds. Then I was like, oh, she's just like a human, But it was weird to begin with, and like she just looked. I know it's gonna sound so weird, but she just looked like a normal person when I met her. I was just like, oh, it's just
it's strange, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? Like I was like, oh, you're a normal person. It's a weird one because you see her on like everything that she does, and you see her, and it's like, wow, she actually looks almost totally different. She looks a lot more normal, down to earth. Yeah. I mean, well,
obviously,
she's not. Do you know what I was gonna say? You'll love this. She does that hair advert, right? She does the hair. right, on that advert, she looks really, really amazing and like toned up kind of thing. That is so much airbrushing, it's untrue, and that's what it made me realise. When I met, I was like, oh, okay, like you have been airbrushed on that advert so much, you don't look, you know, like that in person. You just look like normal, like an average person. And I kind of like that though, because I guess everybody in essence is just like that. We look different when we've got our makeup done and our hair done and we're wearing a different outfit. And on that day, she had no makeup on. It was like in the morning, she didn't have any makeup on. She didn't really, was just wearing a normal casual outfit. I mean, she just looked like an average person. I kind of like that though. She was very relatable. She was very down to earth. She was very good at putting you at ease as well. She was really, really good at putting you at ease. I mean, I think she's done it before. I really do, because she just had this thing where she could put anybody, just make you feel relaxed straight away, which I think is a nice quality to have, to be fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a cool experience.
Yes, yeah, I know what you mean. Like the initial buzz you get. Obviously, I've met quite a lot of people.
Yeah.
And yeah, I totally understand the buzz that you get at first, and then it's like after like 5 minutes or so. And in my case, after I've met like, you know, one, two or three people, it's like, oh, it's normal to me now. Obviously, what I do and where I go, I meet a lot of people, you know, every week, and you know, whether it be new celebrities, new clients, new customers, or new business owners that own businesses and restaurants and things like that. Yeah, you know, you think, oh, they're quite important people, and you get that initial buzz, and then it's like, oh, they're just normal people.
Yeah. They just do something that means they're either in the public eye or they're on the TV or they're on radio, and they're just known for that. But when it's at the end of the day and they're getting into bed and they're just them, you know, they're just them. They're just like you. They're just like me. They're just people. They just do something that means they are seen by a lot of people, like, you know, by the mass public. It's great, isn't it? It's interesting.
Yeah. So what would you tell to people that suffer behind closed doors?
Oh, that's such a good question. I would say, and I know it's like such a overdone thing, but just speak, just talk, just tell people that you're not doing okay, because obviously we're in lockdown right now, which makes everything heightened. Everyone's dealing with their own stuff, right? Everyone's kind of like thinking about like their life and what's going to happen for them and how will it impact them. And because of that, a lot of people, I feel like, will slip under the radar. They're going to slip under because a lot of family and friends won't realise that their loved ones are suffering because they're not really thinking, and that's totally normal. So just speak. Like, say if you're not doing okay, access an app or phone a helpline or speak to a stranger or speak to somebody online or just FaceTime your friend and say, I just want to chat and I'm not doing okay, you know?
Yeah.
And I think I'd also say, apart from the talking, is just realise it's actually okay to not have a great day, to not feel all right. It's okay to kind of feel like you haven't got it all put together and you haven't got it all planned out. You don't know what's going to happen next. Because right now, and I guess all the time, we never really know what's going to happen next. And with that can come a lot of anxiety because we love to be in control. We love to know every detail of what's going to happen next, what we're doing, where we're going, which is normal, that's fine. But it's okay to have a day where you don't want to work, where you don't want to put in 110% effort, because we are human, we're not mechanical machines or robots, and it's okay, isn't it? So just don't cut yourself some slack, don't be so hard on yourself, speak to people, and God, just remember that there's always light, there's always brighter days coming, and it will, just when you least expect it, it will be okay again. That's the thing, I think, when a lot of people, we don't always see results straight away, we don't see things happen straight instantly and heal instantly, and because of that we feel down, like, oh, I'll be like this forever, I'll be stuck like this forever. You're actually not. Things will change for the better when you least expect it, and then you'll have such relief. You will then be able to tell your story to other people, which then inspires them. Then they'll get better and tell it. And it's like a chain reaction of what we do now. Every single person at their own time, I believe, will start to get better and then tell somebody else, and then they'll get better. And hopefully we will continue to see a rise in mental health advocates like we are now. That's all I keep seeing, is so many mental health advocates are coming and growing all the time. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for taking some
You're
time
so
with us
welcome.
today. I greatly appreciate it.
I've
Obviously,
loved
we
it.
are currently the 6th day into Mental Health Week, and people will see this on the 7th day. So
Okay.
yeah, thank you so much for spending some time with me. I greatly appreciate it, and hope to see you soon.
Yes, we've got lots of exciting plans.
See you soon.
Woo!